Hey, what's up, Silver Stackers? This is Silver Slayer, and welcome to your daily Silver Stacking video. Thank you for tuning in and supporting the Silver Stacking community. I'm trying to push the message of Silver Stacking across YouTube. All these new potential stackers out there that don't even know about silver yet, but I need your help. Like the video and leave a comment, share it, that helps the video out a lot. And actually do that with every Silver Stacking channel. We all are in this together. Let's help each other grow, let's support each other, and let's get the word of silver out there. Now, I'm also doing a giveaway. I'm actually picking two winners. Two different people are going to be winning some silver, and I'm starting a new thing where I'm going to pick a random comment out of one of my videos for that month, and I'm going to give them an ounce of silver as well. I just really want people to engage more, and a lot of you do post some good stuff, so it's kind of just rewarding you for throwing some good 2 cents out there for everyone else on the video to also see. Now, I want to play a game with you. You ready for this? This is called Cop or Drop. I do this in the beginning of all of my videos. Every single video, I pick an ounce out of my stack, and I'm going to show it to you. And I want you to comment down below, cop or drop. Cop meaning you would buy it, you like the coin, or drop, nah, you're good. It's a bad, you just don't like it. Maybe it's a bad investment, maybe it's just not your style. So cop or drop down below. You ready? This is a 2022 Calico Jack silver coin, and it's actually not even released yet. The European Mint sent me about 5 unreleased 2022 coins that are going to be listed soon. So I'm curious what you think about this. This is not a normal coin I would buy. Usually I would buy something else like a panda or something along those lines. I wouldn't really buy a coin like this, but I'm curious if you would. It's from the new, which also they also do the Rwanda series, if I'm not mistaken, or another one of those series. But I am curious, would you buy this coin? Is it a cop or drop? Let me know in the comments down below. So this video is going to be so important. I really, really, really want you to pay attention to this stuff. This, and honestly, just this highlighted portion of the paragraph right here speaks for itself, and we could just make a video off of this sentence. Now, it's talking about why silver matters a lot. Let me show the highlighted portion real quick, just to put into context in a little introduction of the importance of this video. Silver is one of the most important elements on Earth and one of the most useful metals in modern day society. Silver's immense electrical and thermal conducting properties are perfect for electrical uses, making it highly in demand in our heavily technology-based world. Now, I could actually try to argue and say that it is the most important element on Earth, and not only just element, it's the most important thing on Earth besides like water and food. But silver actually does affect water and food, because without silver we can't make solar panels, we can't make electric vehicles, which is affecting global warming, right? Going green, saving the planet, that will affect food and water. So I could say silver is up there with a lot of the food, water, shelter. Silver is up there. A lot of people say, well, you can't eat silver, but it is basic for survival, and there's a reason why it's been valuable and seen as tradable money for 5,000 years, since the beginning of man. Since the beginning of man, they have noticed that silver is extremely valuable. Actually, it used to be as valuable as gold. It was a 1-to-1 ratio in the beginning. Then it got 2.5 to 1, 2.5 parts silver equals 1 part gold. And then it was 8 to 1 for thousands of years, because that's the ratio it comes out of the ground. But anyways, let's look at this article. Now, the link will be in the description. Why silver matters a lot. Electronics. Silver is an integral component in electrical switches that power your electronics, and is widely used in high-end electronic devices, printed circuits, audio, video components. It's also used in medicine. There's colloidal silver. Silver has antimicrobial properties. It can purify water. You drop silver in a gallon of milk, keeps the milk fresh longer. It's used for a lot of things. It has antimicrobial substance, like I was just saying. It's used widely in the medical field for coating and dressing on surgical equipment. And of course, millions of people have silver fillings in their teeth. Solar panels, the growing solar energy industry is driving demand for silver, which is used in photovoltaic cells or PV cells. And these panels that capture light, this demand is projected to increase. And a lot of people just know silver as being the most highly conductive metal for thermal conductivity and electricity, but even light sensitivity. That's why it's used in mirrors. So anyways, yeah, it's used to capture light, and this demand is projected to increase tenfold, by the way. We exceeded a demand of 1.2 billion ounces this year, and I could see within 5 years that quadrupling. But there's already a silver shortage. We're already having a hard time keeping up with that demand. So imagine a demand of, instead of 1.2 billion ounces being 4 or 5 billion ounces. Do you really think we'll be able to keep up with that? And what's going to happen when we can't keep up with that? Anyways, mirrors. Mirror, mirror on the wall. Gold may be the fairest metal of them all, but silver is behind it all. It doesn't just hang on your wall. It's also used in the state-of-the-art telescopes in far outer space. Speaking of outer space, there's actually, I just covered a video on it yesterday, or actually today. There's an asteroid called Psyche 16 headed towards Earth, and it has $700 quintillion worth of precious metals. And NASA is sending out a rover this year, actually in August, to go check the asteroid out. Now, by 2026, do you think that it's going to be realistic to mine that asteroid? No, but it's possible. And also in that same video, I highly recommend you check it out, I also show an article where scientists figured out how to produce or make nuclear fusion, which powers the sun. And that's how elements are created. So they're one step closer to creating elements. And if you don't know, silver is an element on the periodic table. It's element number 47, and it's Ag. That's why silver is called Ag47. If they could do that, they could create silver out of bare hands, or they could find silver up in space. So we have space mining and creating it in our backyard. Two different opportunities to make silver plentiful. What would that do to the price? So we have a lot going on, but this is far out, though, far out. Many, many, many years away. So don't be like, oh, silver is about to be worthless, because it's not here yet. And by the time that happens, we will all have been probably gone, or our kids, grandkids will, be hearing about this in the news today. Let me know what you think about that, though. Interesting stuff. And go check that video out, because I share more of my opinion on it. So let's look into this. Often referred to as the poor man's gold, silver has perhaps a little unfairly been regulated to playing second fiddle behind its shiny yellow counterpart. And let me go. I know I break off a lot, but all these articles, they'll say something, but there's so much more context behind it. And I like sharing that context, because context matters. I swear I do this in every article that I read. They say something, but I'll break off and explain it to a much deeper level. And that's just because I've been making daily silver stacking videos for like 7 years now on YouTube, since 2015 or something. And I do think it's important, though. So, like I said, the ratio was 1-to-1, and then it got 8-to-1 for thousands of years, and that's where I stopped. Well, there's actually much more to the story. It was 16-to-1 during, the age of silver being very royal, and, so on and so forth. And then in 1930, it went from 16-to-1 to 75-to-1. Overnight, FDR got in office, changed the gold to silver ratio from 16-to-1 to 75-to-1. So it was man manipulated that silver was basically deemed worthless overnight. That's why it doesn't make sense when we see a gold to silver ratio at 75-to-1 still currently, because silver is actually much more useful than gold. Gold is used for jewelry, necklaces, earrings, watches. Silver is used for critical everyday stuff to make the world literally go around. So it's just funny that silver is so much, more, I guess, needed and useful, but gold is still much more expensive. Now, yes, gold has a much bigger market, but I still, and it's, I guess it comes out of the ground 8 to 1, but the ratio is actually much smaller than that when you're looking at how it comes out of the ground and the lifespan. Gold is kept in circulation for probably a century because when it's dug up, it's made for watches, coins, bars, jewelry, earrings, necklaces, and then they melt that stuff. People pawn it because it's profitable to do so. They're not going to leave that necklace in the drawer or throw it away. So it's kept in circulation. Silver, though, it's mainly used for laptops and TVs and stuff like that. That stuff gets thrown away. Nobody's scrapping silver out of that because it's only $25 an ounce. It's not profitable. They'll just leave it in that laptop. So most silver that gets dug up out of the ground, that ounce of silver that gets dug up out of the ground is thrown away within 20 years. That ounce of gold that gets dug up out of the ground stays remelted into new watches, new earrings. So it comes out of the ground 8 to 1, but it's actually much lower than that when you think about it that way. And silver is a byproduct. They find silver by accident. They're not looking for silver. If they're looking for gold, lead, and zinc. If they find some silver, they'll keep it, they'll take it, but they're not looking for it. There's only a few primary silver mines. Only a few. Stuff to think about. Sorry I branch off a lot, but there's just so much information that I want you to all know instead of just reading this when it has to do with this. So, let's keep on moving on. So, talking about how it's unfair that it's called the poor man's gold and it's been regulated to playing second fiddle behind its shiny yellow counterpart. But the noble metal has a lot to offer the world beyond its extensive use in jewelry and investment. We're about to find out. We've previously spoken about gold and precious metals, but silver deserves a special mention. Silver is the most important, or one of the most important elements on Earth, and one of the most useful metals in modern day society. Silver's immense electrical and thermal conducting properties are perfect for electrical uses, making it highly in demand in our heavily technology-based world, and it will grow and grow in demand not only from the industry but people like you and I. U.S. Mint sold 5 million Eagles the first month of January this month. That's a third of their annual production. Last year they produced 14 million. And they actually ran out of silver with 14 million. So 5 million in the first month of January, that should explain a lot. That speaks for itself. About silver metal. Silver is considered a precious metal along with gold, platinum, palladium, makes up top 4 in terms of usage and value. Silver has a soft, white, lustrous appearance. Okay, we already know that. It's mined from the earth. So it's the highest in electrical conductivity, thermal conductivity, and reflectivity of any metal. Blah, blah, blah. So the uses of silver, it's used for over 10,000 industrial applications, microchips to microwaves, electronics. It's in medicine, it's in solar panels, it's in mirrors. Now, there's approximately 17 times more silver in the world than gold, but it's recycled at a much lower rate, like I was saying earlier, limiting supply alongside mine sources because 70% of the supply is byproduct, which I was also saying, and I didn't even read this part yet. It's just like when I say stuff, I'm not just making it up. I'm never going to make up anything. I think the only time I actually was off by something, and I always correct myself the first time that happened the other day, I was making a video. What was it? It was something I was like, wow, this is like one of the first times I actually said something. Oh, it was the purchasing power of the value declining. They said it declined. I used to say the purchasing power, it lost 44% in the last 20 years, but it was actually like 80-something% in the last 20 years. So that was one of the only times I actually like realized or was wrong about something, because I know this stuff by memory. Like, I don't know why. When I see something that's important, I'll remember it and it's in there. But just so you know, like, you can fact check me on anything I say. But anyways, it is a byproduct of copper, lead, and zinc. That's what I just said. They're looking for gold, lead, zinc. If they find some silver, they'll take it. So I'm saying, like, I haven't read this. It's just like it's second nature to me at this point. But global production affects the price of silver. It is susceptible to conditions in manufacturing, industry, and business activity among companies who use it. Thus, price fluctuations are common. All these things considered, trading silver is quite different from gold, but it's part of what makes the metal so distinct and interesting for traders. And it's different because it's more volatile. People call it gold on steroids. They call it gold on crack. They call it the devil's metal, poor man's gold, gold's little brother. There's a lot of different names, but at the end of the day, calling a precious metal a safe haven risky is extremely contradicting. So anyways, yeah, silver is not worthless. The only time I could see silver ever becoming worthless would be in a long time from now when we are mining boatloads of silver off of an asteroid, but then you have to consider the manpower, the money going into it, the cost of travel, all that. Or you would have to consider the nuclear fusion making it, but the amount of time and energy and money going into that, it'd probably boost premium. So I don't know. I don't know. I mean, that's so hard to say. Plus, incorporating so many other things that affect the price of silver. Plus, during that time frame, by then, what affects the price will be so much different than now, since silver will become detached from gold and stock market volatility, all that, soon when the silver shortage becomes more imminent. And it's just hard to say, right? It's all speculation, it's speculative, but all I know is that silver is by far the safest, smartest investment with the most potential, and that's one of the many reasons why my name is Silver Slayer, not Gold Slayer. So yeah, I'm going to wrap this video up here. If you thought this video was 1, educational, 2, informational, 3, at least entertaining, make sure to hit the like button. Make sure you let me know about this coin. Is it a copper or a drop? And make sure you like the video, please. Go subscribe if you want a chance to win some silver. Click that subscribe button. Thanks for tuning in. This is Silver Slayer. I'll see you guys soon. Peace.